Hey everyone, and welcome to the Academy Insider podcast. Today I'm joined by John Carter, who's a former Navy basketball player and now Marine Corps officer. And in this episode, we're going to touch on two main topics, which is one, the Army Navy Star Series, which is an athletic competition between West Point and the Naval Academy. And then two, we're going to talk about the Varsity end sweater. If you've ever seen a midshipman walking around the Naval Academy campus with a blue cardigan sweater and a gold N and potentially some stars on it, we want to take this opportunity to give a little insight into what that means, who can wear them, when they can wear them, and just everything about the sweater. So if you're interested in learning that, make sure to check out this episode. And just as a spoiler, Navy does lead the all-time star series with a record of 1,174 to 889, which is just over 57%. So we love it. I hope you enjoy this episode. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions or comments. I'd love to talk to you. Thanks. The Academy Insider podcast is sponsored by the Vermeer Group, a residential real estate company that serves the United States Naval Academy community and other select clientele in both California and Texas. If I can ever answer a real estate related question for you or connect you with a trusted Academy affiliated agent in the market which you're in, please reach out to me directly at grant@thevermeergroup.com. You can also reach out to me on my LinkedIn page, Grant Vermeer, and I'd be happy to respond to you there. Thank you so much. And now let's get back to the episode. Hey, John, thank you so much for joining us, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to come talk to the Academy Insider audience a little bit about the letter sweaters and the Star game. Man, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you reaching out, inviting me, brother. Very happy to do this for those listening. And just, getting to talk to a fellow NTFer. It's going to be really cool. Appreciate you inviting me.
Absolutely. For all those listening, NTF, Navy Team Family. That's like the basketball motto. Again, the football team's got the brotherhood, right? That's their thing. For us, it's NTF, Navy Team Family, and that's carried on for generations of Navy basketball players. So very cool. But yeah, if you don't mind just telling the audience a little bit about your background, where you're from, what brought you to the Naval Academy, and then what you're currently doing in the military.
Yeah, so I'm from a smaller city named Spring Hill, Tennessee, about 30 minutes south of Nashville, Tennessee. Born and raised there. Obviously I played basketball all throughout, my years, and eventually got recruited by the Naval Academy. It all started the summer right before my senior year was when they first called, and had a good senior season, and eventually went on my visit to go see the Naval Academy and meet the team, meet the coaches. I actually committed on my visit, believe it or not. I think it was just the Naval Academy's, the yard, the campus is beautiful. I don't have military in my family at all, so like it was all just very new to me and eye-opening, and my parents loved it. Almost just naive, and it was bliss, and everything that we didn't know, it was just like, this is amazing. So yeah, I committed on that day. Really had nothing to do with basketball. It just had to do with the school itself and the possibilities and opportunity.
Dude, I'm with you. On the recruiting visit, they do such a good job on
Yeah,
recruiting
yeah, they
visits.
do.
I walked away from there. I'm like, this is the greatest place on earth, man. Like this is cool, right? Especially because recruiting visits, right? I think this is a fun little side thing, right? For a lot of people that go on normal candidate visit weekends, we call them drags, right? You're walking around with plebes, right? So you kind of see the plebe life. For the athletes, for recruited athletes, they'll put you around with like a second class or a firstie, right? So you're going around. They have weekend liberty. They're wearing civvies. They're playing video games in their room, and you're like, oh man, this ain't bad. I'm like, why is everyone?
Bad at all.
This is crazy. And then like Annapolis itself is just gorgeous, right? You know what I mean? So you see it. They take you to formation, like you're saying, with no military background, much like I was too. I watched that new meal formation, and I was like, yo, this is
cool.
This is cool, right? Like this is cool, and they get you. So I'm with you. I was the same way. I left that visit, and I was like, I'm coming.
Is it? And on top of that, they take you to, most likely they'll send you to a home football game if you come on that weekend. And usually they're really great, beautiful days. And seeing the walk on right before the march on right before the game. The weather, the flyover, everything. It's just like a great experience, and especially from a kid from a small town in Tennessee.
The 100%. So
Yeah.
you make the decision to come to
Mhm.
Navy. You're here. How was the first bit of like plebe summer and plebe year before basketball season actually started? Was it a tough adjustment for you, or it didn't bother you too much?
Well, to add to my story, I actually went to
Hmm.
Naval Academy prep school right
Okay.
before I went to the Naval Academy. So after high school, graduated, went to the prep school to like give me a year to like get indoctrinated into the military, get indoctrinated
Sure.
to just like academy life on a lower scale. Got to play basketball there. We went to school just to see if I could do it, and I did it. At the end of the year, obviously, I chose to continue on to go to the Naval Academy. And so my reaction to plebe summer and just plebe year in general was honestly not as bad as most because I had a year
Sure.
to kind of get used to it. So it was kind of just getting used to the plebe stuff because we didn't experience that at Naps. So
Yeah.
that was an adjustment for sure. But in terms of like school, basketball, just military in general, I felt pretty comfortable already.
Yeah. And with the topic of this episode really being about star games, which is Army Navy in
Yeah.
general, what was it like playing against MEPS, right? Because that's like
Oh yeah.
West Point has like a military academy too. Like was that a huge game when you were at Naps? Like what was
Those
that experience like?
those are we played them twice, just like we do at Navy. Those are the
Hmm.
biggest games of the year because like most of our games at Naps, we played in front of maybe like 5 people.
Sure.
But when it was Naps against Maps, when they came to us, our whole entire battalion went to the game, and it was rowdy. And then
Yeah.
when we went to Maps, their whole entire battalion was there, and they're even rowdier. They were
Even
coming on the
rowdier, dude.
Yeah, they were coming on the court. They were talking some crazy stuff to us. It was definitely a great indoctrination to that rivalry. Honestly, like those are some of my favorite games I remember as just a basketball player. Honestly,
Yeah, it's funny you said that even about MEPS. Like I was retelling some of these stories earlier too. I'm like, yeah, Army Navy game in Annapolis,
yeah,
super fun, great
yeah,
game. The Army Navy game up at West Point, now that's next level.
yeah. That's
Like
a different
you
experience.
might have to take my Navy card, but like there's something about going up to West Point, being out there in West Point, New York, where there's nothing because West Point, New
Nothing.
York, sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway, but like it makes it a whole event. The gym's packed from the
packed.
floor to the rafters. The whole like
Yeah,
Corps of Cadets is just down there, dude. Like it's crazy.
yeah.
It's
They make
crazy.
they make it real intimate because they have on both ends of the goals, they have the
Hmm.
bleachers right there. So that a lot of
Right
I'm
there.
assuming football players too, they're probably right there, just going
Oh
crazy
man,
on you, and
going
it just
crazy.
feels everyone's on top of you. Like I agree with you though. Like Naval
Yeah.
Academy in Annapolis, it's a good experience. Like it's a nice atmosphere, but West Point is
West Point's a
different.
jungle, man. Is
Yeah,
rowdy. You can
yeah,
you can feel it. Feel the energy on the floor, man. It's
yeah,
crazy.
for sure.
Uh,
I had a lot of experience throughout the year, and so my first star game was at West Point. And to be completely honest with you, I don't remember too much from the game. I remember I was nervous and that I had a bad shooting night. However, I remember that for some reason, I think like one of the coaches was like, "Hey, we really need you to rebound tonight." And for some reason, that was just like my thing that night. I
mhm.
do remember I had like 12 rebounds. Didn't really score, but hey, we won the
Yeah.
game. Actually, no, I think we lost. Yeah, we ended up losing because every all 4 years we split with Army 1-1.
No kidding.
But we won the star game 3 of the 4 times.
Three of the four.
Um, so yeah, we lost that game, but I do remember 1000% my second game at Indianapolis for the star was kind of like my coming out party. It was like my probably like top 3 game of my career at Navy.
Yeah.
And I know West Point really didn't expect me to have the game that I had. And I remember Coach DeCellis before the game, he's like, it seems like every game someone pokes their head up, someone you don't expect, and it just so happened to be me that night.
Today, John
Yeah,
Carter.
yeah.
Today is John Carter.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, man.
uh,
There's just like a different adrenaline you have leading up to those games.
mhm.
Warming up is just a little more swagger. The music seems a little bit louder. The sweat is dripping a little bit more.
Yeah.
There's something about Army too, like their team, how they warm up. They just look like they just feel like they have a lot of arrogance and cockiness. I don't mean this in any disrespectful way. There's just something there, and it
It's
kind of gets you up more.
it's the rivalry too, right? Like you're
Yeah,
saying, like everyone's juice. They're feeling the juice. We're feeling like it's a rowdy thing.
yeah,
I do want to dig deep, and this is kind of almost to the premise of this episode. You mentioned
yeah,
twice the star game.
yeah,
For anyone who's listening, be like, what the heck does that mean? Do you mind giving a little bit of insight into what you're referencing when you say the
yeah,
star game? Because this is a really unique, interesting thing about kind of the Army Naval rivalry in sports at the
yeah,
Naval Academy.
yeah. So a lot like in football,
Hmm.
every year they play each other, and at the end of the game, like they're to this day, after for years, they've been counting wins and losses for Army versus Navy. And so a lot like that, it's the same thing for basketball. However, the difference is we play each other twice a year. So the second time we play them in the season is the star game, and that one counts to the trophy that we actually earn. That hopefully not doesn't get exchanged year to year, but it is
Yep.
that trophy is present at the game, and
Yep.
whoever wins that star game gets to take it home with them for the next whole
Yep.
year. I know it was sitting in Coach Chelsea's office all
Yep.
year, until like obviously we have to play them again and have to bring it out. But
You got to bring
thankfully
it out.
we won it 3 out of the 4,
Dude, that's
which
dope.
was really cool.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite memories. I got a picture. If you
Yeah,
want to stalk me and like do a deep dive through my Instagram, I got like my favorite picture is me and Pookie and Earl, and it was my plebe year, and we won the star game. You take the picture in the locker room with that big old
yeah,
trophy in there. I know you got one up on your
I
Instagram too with the with
definitely
the
see
with
it.
the with the trophy on.
I
Oh
had
man.
my second class year. I didn't play because I was hurt.
Mhm.
I had a boot on, and I still took a picture with it because it was just, it's
Hey,
always cool to like have those bragging rights and work for something like that again, especially in the Army.
yeah. And so, like John said, the second game out of the year is the star game. And so when we reference the star game, that's specific to basketball, but the star series
Oh yeah,
has been going on for a long time. So the Army Navy Star Series is something that's really interesting. So it features 24 games throughout the year that Army and Navy play each other in. All the different sports: indoor track, outdoor track, swimming, diving,
yeah,
wrestling, basketball, football, baseball, all the different sports that you can compete in and all the different matches. There is a star game for that sport. And
yeah,
so there's 24 competitions in year, and each time like that record is kept track of, right? And like we're saying, for basketball you play them twice, but only one game is the star series. And if you win that game, then you earn the right to, one, for basketball, like the trophy, but
yeah.
two, a star, which is actually like
Mm.
pretty interesting because there's literally a ceremony at the end of the year called the bell ringing ceremony. And like, if you beat Army that year, you get to ring the like, or won the star game, you get to ring the bell. And then we literally have a banner up near gate one where like all
Yeah,
the teams that won a star that year get like put up on there, right? And so it's just a really unique, interesting like aspect to Naval Academy sports because you compete for the right to win a star for the Naval Academy
yeah,
in this Army Navy series. But then also individually, because if we're looking in the background, if you're just listening to the audio, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to check out the video on YouTube. But he's got a sweet little sweater up
yes,
hanging
sir.
on his board there. You mind talking a little bit about what the star game means
Yeah,
for the sweater, and take a little bit of time and explain what a varsity letter sweater is or a
yeah,
club letter sweater is?
yeah. So to start with the sweater itself, you earn the sweater once you. I don't remember how many. There's a minimum games or
Yep.
minimum minutes or how whatever it is, but once you meet that threshold in varsity sports at the academy, you earn the sweater.
Yep.
So like you were saying earlier about like your youngster year, you got finally got the sweater. Plebes don't have the sweater because they have yet to earn it due to the fact that the nature of the fact that they haven't been playing or
Yep.
they haven't had a year to play. So most of the time, it's youngsters who finally get it. They're probably wearing it the most, honestly, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, we you get the sweater and you earn it. And so then, like Grant was saying, like you were saying, once you win a star game, you then earn one of those stars on your sweater.
Yep.
I never got my third one, so keep in mind that I earned three, or we earned three,
we're gonna
while we
have
were
to we're
there.
gonna have to go back to Annapolis and get you one,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly, exactly.
Sew it on there.
Um, And so when you wear the sweater on the yard,
Hmm.
you can kind of see who's been winning those games and who's been losing those games just by the
Yeah.
number of their stars. It's funny because track and field indoor, they have indoor and outdoor seasons. So for both
Hmm.
seasons, they can earn a star. So there's a lot of like firsties at the academy who have like 8 stars going all the
Those
way
things
up
are
to
wrapping up
their
their back, yeah, all the
yeah,
way up
on
their
their
shoulder
back.
and over their
It
back.
kind of looks ridiculous, but it's a slight flex if you have all those stars, and I'm sure they love
100%.
it.
Yeah,
Um,
aesthetics go down. The sweater doesn't look as
for
as
sure.
pretty, but the flex goes way up.
The flex is way up.
Way up.
With context, it makes sense. But yeah, the
Oh man.
you can wear the sweater. So I think the rule at the academy,
Hmm.
you can't wear it like every day. You can wear it specifically on a game day.
Hmm.
You can wear if let's say we had a game on a Saturday that's away. Usually
Yep.
we'll travel Thursday, maybe Wednesday, depending on how far it is. If I went to class on that Wednesday but our game is until Saturday, I could wear it on the Wednesday because I'm technically that's my last day
Yep.
in class that week. I can wear it technically. And then the last rule is if you're an in-season athlete, that means your season, that means your team is in season. Every Friday you can wear your sweater.
That's right.
So trust me, I took advantage of any time I could wear it.
I'm telling you, these things are kind of warm too, because it's
They're
basketball season. It's
warm.
cold
Yeah,
out. They're warm. They're warm.
they're
So,
very
dude, I
warm
was always looking for that excuse. Right? It was
every
great because
time.
Patriot League plays on Saturday, so like you wearing it on
Yep,
Friday regardless. You're wearing it on Friday
regardless.
regardless. And then Wednesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday, because if you got a road game, you're wearing it on Tuesday before we get on the bus, or you're wearing it
Yep,
on Wednesday. And it's way warmer than the Ike jacket. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
So like that was my favorite thing. And so you would put it on, right? You would have it. It's like if you were in SDBs, but instead of wearing the SDB jacket, you wear the
The
sweater, baby.
sweater,
You just
yeah,
the sweater with the white
with the white
collar
shirt
shirt
and
and the
the
tie on,
tie.
and no cover. That's probably the next best piece. You ain't got to wear your
That's
cover. You don't got to worry about carrying that around the whole place. You just get to like walk around with the sweater on,
yeah,
and man, that was the best. And these things, hey, look, I like them. I think they're super cool. I got it again. I think it's another varsity athlete thing. You at least got to get one picture on the gram a year
oh yeah,
in the sweater. Normally
yeah,
before the Army game, right?
yeah.
It's critical.
It's
It's
just one of
critical.
those things like you're an athlete of the academy. Those who aren't athletes can't get it. So it's just one thing to kind of remove your like separate yourself in a way. Um, whether that's
Yeah.
right or wrong. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think my favorite part about the sweater is the no cover. Like not having to keep track of it all day,
It's
not having to
great.
wear it. You just, you leave class, you don't have to worry about trying to grab it or forgetting it, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But for a full recap, I'm with you. For a full recap of anyone who's listening, like if you're going to visit your son or daughter, niece, nephew, grandson, granddaughter, whatever it is at the yard, and you see someone walking around with one of these sweaters on, it means they lettered as a varsity athlete. If they have any stars, it means they beat Army in the star game. And if they're wearing it, like you said, it means that they likely have a game that day or like coming up in the
Sometime
very
soon. Yeah.
immediate future. Right. And
Yeah.
so, it's one of those things where like it's a unique little interesting aspect that you can gain a little bit of knowledge into that specific midshipman about what's going on. Right.
Yeah.
And the letter sweaters are very cool because you also get them for club athletes. So if you're a varsity athlete, you just get this. If you're watching the video, you just get the straight N. Like that's just what it is. If it's a club sport, like you'll get it and it'll say the name of your club on there. So if you like
That's right.
letter in your club sport, then you can kind of get one as well for that, and it'll actually list what club you're a part of, which is very cool. But
Mhm.
yeah, a fun little unique aspect about Naval Academy life, right? Is this idea of the Star Series, which is
Yeah.
just a fun competition. And then the sweaters, right? The sweaters are just a really fun, like interesting, cool thing. I joke like I love that thing. When I got it my youngster year, dude, I wore it. I wore that. I was back home for Christmas. I wore that thing to Christmas mass, dude. I couldn't take that thing off. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, no, I'm wearing this thing everywhere. I love it. And man, the life of a bench warmer though, Doug. So my time. My freshman year, I played a lot. Right, I was kind of with
Oh
you. I
yeah.
played a lot my freshman year. It was super fun. I got my first game against Army. Reggie Miller's at the game. He's announcing. We're taking
Yeah.
pictures. We're shooting with him before at shoot around before the game. I scored one basket in my first Army game. I just threw that thing up. That was super lucky, little floater, super lucky. But like getting this star was awesome. I then go into my youngster year, and we lose the star game. I still played a good amount my youngster year. We lose the star game, so no star. Junior year, we win the star game, but I was a bench warmer. My time at the Navy, it was great. Like we had Sean came in, Bryce came in. We had some people who were just better than me, great dudes and better than me, right? And so I go at the end of the year to go pick up my star because we won the star game, and they're like, "Shipmate, you did not let her. You did not let her as a varsity athlete this year. You did not play. Like you don't get a star." So here I am rocking my one N star there. Now I just claim I'm like, yeah, no, it's just meant to be N star. It's the Naval Academy logo. It's just a Naval Academy sweater.
The aesthetic is nice.
You know what I mean? The aesthetic is nice.
I like the aesthetic nice. Personally. I even thought I was like, I kind of want to remove one of my stars to make it look like the N star. Because people don't really know what it means. No. But yeah. No.
But that's what the purpose of this episode is. Now exactly. People know that you beat an Army. You beat an Army. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. No, this is super cool. I really appreciate you taking the time to come and like explain some of this stuff and share some of these stories. You got any more Army Navy stories? Anything about these sweaters that you want to share?
Nothing really too deep. I will just say that I don't know if you experience the same thing, but like I'm telling you, the youngsters will wear the heck out of those sweaters.
Even when it's not game day,
even
baby.
When it's not game
wearing
day,
that thing.
They'll find a way. They're finally youngsters. They're not pleased. They can try to wear something different. And then I want to say second class year, it might die down a little bit. You probably don't care as much. You're just getting through it. You're finally a second class. Probably your class is a little harder. But then first year, you're like, I'm proud to be, a first team. Maybe you're the captain of the team. You're like really proud to be on the team. So you definitely rep it a lot more. But yeah. No, the sweaters are really cool. I'm proud to and fortunate enough to have competed and earn a sweater and then stars. Now, not everyone can say that, and so it is really cool. And I appreciate it.
It's a blessing, and it's a cool memento to have, right, of your experience. And also, in all seriousness, right, wrapping this up, like having these sweaters is really cool, right? It's a memento. It's a reflection. It's a token of the fact that like. You competed as a Division I varsity athlete during your time at the Naval Academy, which is a really tough task because life at the academy is hard, right? It's extremely hard. You have class all day. You got to go to all these things. You have military training. School is difficult. And then you have to go and you have to compete at a Division I level, right? So to have this sweater to kind of as a reflection of all the hard work that you put in, and then, some of these things, every time you look at one of these stars, you can look back to, one of these star games that was just a really positive experience and moment. So it's amazing stuff. It's amazing stuff. And, as quick shout out here as we wrap up. This episode's about to drop before the star game here coming up. So shout out to the NTF family. Go take care of business and earn another one of these stars for these sweaters, man. Go out and get it. But no, JC, thank you so much for joining, man. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. And if anyone's got any questions about the sweaters, about the Star Series, anything, make sure to reach out to us. It'd be super fun to get to answer any more questions that are out there. So appreciate
you. Appreciate you listeners. Go Navy.
Sounds good. Go Navy. Beat Army, baby.
Yes, sir.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that episode. I think it was a quick, fun insight into the Star Series and into the letter sweater and just get a little bit of info about that. So now if you're walking around the yard and you see a midshipman wearing one of those letter sweaters, you might be able to give them a little, hey, good luck, or whatever the case is, because they're likely about to compete in some kind of competition. So very fun episode. If you have any questions at all about anything related to the Naval Academy experience or anything that supports midshipmen, future midshipmen, and their families, please shoot me an email at grant@academyinsider.com. You can always send me a message to the Academy Insider Facebook page or just go to www.academyinsider.com. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.